My dear change agents, in this module we are going to see some of the intricacies and principles of strategic research and extension plan. So now let us see what is actually a strategic plan. The word strategy has to be very much understood by every one of us. Normally you know very well that this term strategy has been used in defense in a very big way, and whatever plan they do in defense, it is called strategic plan. So the term strategy has been widely used in the defense sector, and it needs actually a strategic thinking. That is, everything starts with the thinking process, and it is different from a normal plan. That strategic plan means we have to have a strategic thinking first. How? That means we need to define the vision and mission before actually preparing the plan, and then this particular strategic plan should have a roadmap for future development of the district, and in essence it is a management tool to formulate the research and extension agenda. To have a better understanding of the concept of SREP, here you can see state A, that is, suppose for example April 2014 in the district. What is the state A or the current status of the district? That is, we have to very nicely we have to define and we have to explore what is state A. Then after 5 years from now, from April 2014 to April 2019, we need to define state B, that is where we want to go, how we want to develop the district, in what aspects the district should develop. So that definition has to be done, that is state B. And from moving from state A to state B, we need a vehicle, that is what called SREP, Strategic Research and Extension Plan, is nothing but a vehicle to move from state A to state B. Okay, now we will see why SREP and what are the purposes of SREP. Just now we saw state A and state B, and the purposes of SREP, there are two purposes which are related to state A. That is, number one is we need to get an overview of the prevailing scenario of the districts, entire agroclimatic conditions, all data, everything we have to, we will just see in the next slides, we will see what information we need to do. So we need to get an overall overview of the prevailing scenario of the districts in terms of agricultural development. And number two is we need to explore and understand the problems and opportunities in different farming systems that are already existing, and we also should know the preferences and priorities of the farming community. So regarding the purposes, there are some purposes which are related to state B. For example, the third one is we need to have a long-term visioning and strategic planning, that is one aspect. Then fourth one is involvement of all actors in different levels in the development process, farmers, extension functionaries, NGOs, researchers, like that, all kinds of farm dealers, even bankers, all stakeholders have to be involved. And then we need to facilitate integration of and redesigning of the ongoing development programs for the benefit of the farmers. And finally we will just come out with what is called annual action plans for each block. And when we just combine all the block action plans, it becomes the district action plan. Well, ultimately the purpose of developing SREP is to ensure that the farmer centered and market oriented extension research management system is put in place. Well, to have still a better understanding about the concept of SREP, I would like to share with you an example. Now you just see, when the country was attaining freedom, Mahatma Gandhiji had a clear vision. His vision was freedom to India, that was his vision, and this vision can be accomplished through several strategies. And now you can see Gandhiji chose two strategies mainly. One is non-violence and the second one is non-cooperation. And in order to achieve these strategies fully, in order to make them work, he just had some thrust areas. For example, he declared that freedom fight should go as a movement, and then all the people's participation should be ensured. That was another thrust area Gandhiji gave. And he also just had a thrust area that synergy from all parts of the country, from everywhere, all the people, they need to come together, and there has to be a synergetic effect to get freedom. And once these strategies have been fixed and these thrust areas have been fixed, then only activities have to be planned. Here you can see some of the activities which in our country we just resorted to. One was fasting, second one was Swadeshi, third one was meetings, and the fourth one is Padayatras. Even Dandi March can be an example. And also he resorted to several negotiations with the British government and also other people. So what I want to impress upon here is, there has to be, whenever any strategic plan has to be developed, this kind of relationship should be there between vision, strategies, thrust areas and activities. That means that activities should be closely related to thrust area, and the thrust areas should be closely related to strategies that we have developed, and the strategies should be related to vision. This kind of linkage has to be mentioned. Now let us see how the same concept works in our SREP. So here you can see the same thing is there. When we develop SREP, we need to have these four components. That is, number one is vision, then strategies, then thrust areas and activities. So now for example, let us say, suppose our vision is profitable and sustainable farming in the districts, because this is a very common vision we need to have. Considering the present challenges and problems, we need to just promote profitable and sustainable farming. If this is the vision we have set, then it can be achieved through several strategies. And I am just giving one example from the field of agriculture. Strategy 1, that is doubling paddy production. That means if we are just double the paddy production, then naturally the farmers will be able to get more profit. That is the underlying philosophy. That means we can, like that we can have several strategies also, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Here in an example I have given doubling paddy production. Well, now if this is a strategy, what could be our thrust area? Because we can double the paddy production in several ways. Here what I have just noted down here is promotion of SRI, that is system of rice intensification. If we do that, definitely our paddy production can be enhanced. That already we have got a lot of research experience and also practical experience also. So this is the thrust area we have developed. Okay. Now if this is the thrust area, what activities we should just resort to? That means in activities we have got two different activities in SREP. Number one is extension related activities and number two is research related activities. For example, here you see we need to create some awareness or we need to create some conviction of the farmers on SRA. Means we need to go for demonstrations, we need to conduct training programs, we need to take some exposure visits, and we need to just give some radio programs or television programs like that. All these activities we have to do in order to achieve the thrust area. Then these activities are not restricted only to extension. We have some activities related to research also. For example, you see this SRI, it is becoming popular these days, and still there are several researchable issues which need to be just addressed. For example, technology refinement in farmers field. This we have to take up. For example, how many number of seedlings we should go for, and what should be the age of seedlings which will give more yield, and what should be the water requirement, how it should be adopted, how it should be applied. Like that, we need to decide. So for developing a very good SREP, we need to just adopt two other dimensions also. Number one is we need to conduct what is called SWOT analysis of the district. That means what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses, what are our opportunities and what are the challenges. So these things have to be just thoroughly done, based on which only we have to develop the vision, strategies, thrust areas and activities. But once we develop this, another dimension is we need to ensure that there is an organic linkage between these four important components. That means all the activities that we have planned should be closely related to thrust areas we have selected. Similarly, thrust areas should be related to strategies and the strategy should be related to vision. So this kind of organic linkage we have to do. Why I am just telling it is, many times we just propose some activities without having in mind what thrust area or strategy we need to achieve. So that is why we need to ensure, and it has to be ensured in a participatory way by all the stakeholders. Well friends, now we will come to the SREP as it is, and this contents of SREP, if you see, we can broadly classify them into two categories. Number one is diagnostic section, number two is strategic section. And under diagnostic section again we have got two categories. Number one is information. We need to collect information. Already I told you state A. What are the various information we need to know about this district? To know about the district, we need to collect lot of information, and we need to analyze all this information. Only after doing this particular exercise, we can just switch over to formulating strategy section. In the strategy section, we will have strategies. We will develop some strategies, and we will also go for thrust areas and also then activities we have to develop. So this is broadly two categories of contents of the SREP. Okay, now we will see some of the steps, some major steps that we need to follow for developing SREP. As already I told you, to know about the information, to get an overview of the district, we need to first identify the different agroecological situations within the district, because our experience shows that normally a district is not alike. All the blocks are not alike. There may be some variations, different agroecological situations may prevail. So first of all the persons, all the stakeholders should join to sit together and then identify what are the various agroecological situations within the district. Then we need to collect data, and also we need to go for analysis. And this data collection is normally we just suggest that it has to be done in a participatory way through PRA techniques. There are several PRA techniques where the farmers, extension functionaries, scientists and others, they can jointly do this exercise to get realistic data, factual data from the farmers on the field. And also each AES, that is from each AES, we need to have a representative village to collect this data, because we cannot collect data from all the villages, it is not possible. So representative villages we have to choose. Then with this data we need to organize, as already I told you, the SWOT analysis involving all stakeholders. There we can present what are all the various data we have already collected about the district as a whole, and then based on the SWOT analysis, then we have to develop the vision, strategies, thrust areas and activities, both for extension as well as research. And once this exercise is done, then we will be able to develop what is called district annual action plan for the district as a whole, and also it can be converted into block annual action plans. Every block should have its own annual action plans, which will define what are all the various activities we need to go for, and what is the time schedule also for doing the activities. And all these things should come right from vision, then thrust area, then only activity should come. Well, now let us see what kind of information we need to collect under a diagnostic session. We can just see here, we need to have the general features of the district, agroclimatic conditions, agroecological situations, demographic data, land based system, and in that we need to have some data related to agriculture, horticulture and other enterprises, and what is the soil, water, vegetation, nature and types, and also infrastructure facilities, what are the various infrastructure facilities for the production, value addition and also for marketing, and the programs, schemes and projects that are already going on in the district, and marketing aspect, credit aspect, and very importantly, what are the various farmers organizations already they are functioning there, and what are the NGOs that can contribute to the district development, and also private sector organizations related to agricultural development, and what are the ICT facilities available in the district, and also the media, print media and others, magazines, what are all the various farm magazines. Like that we need to collect information related to all aspects of the district. So now a very important aspect we are going to cover. Already we told the importance of strategy, and there are some categories of strategy, because we find that in some of the districts that all the important strategies are not inbuilt in the SREP. The whole exercise has to be done in a very meticulous way to have some strategies which are very important to achieve the vision. I will just share with you some of the normal categories of a strategy, and you can have 2 or 3 or more of a combination of these strategies. Number one is we need to have strategies related to diversification and intensification of the existing farming systems. So whatever existing farming systems are prevalent in the district, we need to intensify, and all the stakeholders should very critically think of whether we can go for any diversification. So this is one strategy. And then second strategy is we need to have some programs, some methods to improve the productivity and income from different enterprises or commodities in the existing farming system. For that also we need to have strategies. As I already told you, for paddy production we need to go for this doubling for paddy production, we need to go for SRA. Like that, for every commodity, it may be agriculture, it may be horticulture, it may be animal husbandry, whatever may be, how to enhance the productivity and income of the farmers. Then third strategy, important strategy is we need to have some way to sustain the production systems. Sustainability of production systems is very important. Once we develop new farming systems, we need to have some clear cut ways to ensure that these production systems are sustained. Then fourth category is definitely all the stakeholders, they need to be trained. For that, capacity building of extension functionaries, researchers, farmers, market players and all other partners like NGOs and whosoever is contributing to agriculture development, those persons, what kind of training is needed for them, what kind of capacity building is needed for them, so that we will be able to make a dent through SREP. So this fourth strategy we have to give. And the fifth one is dovetailing and redesigning various ongoing schemes of various development departments. Very, very important strategy it is, because so many departments are they are having so many schemes and projects and programs, and this SREP, through SREP there is a great opportunity for us to just dovetail and redesign all the various development departments schemes, projects, etc., and including even private research institutions also, NGO sectors also, so that we will be able to just achieve our vision. And then sixth one is, and this is focus should be on market led extension for enhancement of profits and focus on post harvest technologies, because this is a very important strategy these days and we need to just have this extension as market led extension. Then seventh one is promotion of ICT tools, use of ICT tools in extension. Definitely all of us will know very well that a revolution has taken place in the information technology, and we have lot of ICT based tools for reaching the farmers, for convincing farmers and things like that. So that strategy also is important while preparing the SREP. Then another important dimension is this promotion of public private partnership. This is happening almost in all sectors now. Whether any sector, every sector, now this PPP mode is the only way. That is why in agriculture also we need to resort to this PPP mode. Then ninth one is of course mainstreaming gender concerns. Definitely it has to be an important strategy in our SREP. Okay, my dear friends, now just I would like to sum up. It is schematically I am giving this SREP as to already we have seen several concepts. And for example, you see vision. Vision is profitable and sustainable farming. And there can be strategies related to agriculture, S1, S2 horticulture, S3 animal husbandry, agriculture engineering, sericulture and farmers organizations. That means if our vision is profitable and sustainable farming, we need to have strategies related to all these enterprises and various commodities within each enterprise. Then for each strategy there can be some thrust areas, TA1, TA2 like that. There can be two or three thrust areas, and for each thrust area we need to just exercise, do lot of exercise to decide what are the various extension activities we should go ahead. That EA 1, 2, 3, 4 like that will be there. And for the same thrust area 1 there can be some research activities also, research activity 1 and 2. So this is the overall picture of this SREP, how it looks like. So this is what I want all the change agents to just keep in mind while preparing the SREP. Friends, I think we have seen some of the important aspects of SREP and some other details of each step, that is available in your handbook, in your manual, and in the contact class also somebody will be coming and explain it to you. I hope this concept of SREP is now very clear, and we will be just able to do justice while preparing SREP in all the districts. Thank you very much.